Okay, we're going to call to order.
Red means on. Start again. We're calling to order the regular board meeting for the Board of Directors of Marina Coast Water District and the regular board meeting for the Board of Directors of the Marina Coast Water District Groundwater Sustainability Agency on Monday, August 17th. It is now 6:00 p.m. and we'll take a roll call vote. Roll call, period.
Director Imamura,
Present.
Director Moore,
Here.
Director Smith is absent, Vice President Schreiner,
Yeah.
President Morton.
I'm also present. So what we are going to start with is a comment from our general manager. Oh, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. My apologies. Okay, so I am going to ask our guest of honor, Belen Perez, to lead us in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And Rem, I'm sorry, you were on target.
All good. Madam Chair, Madam President, the district has received correspondence regarding item 11A on this evening's agenda. Staff requests the removal of item 11A from tonight's agenda so that we can address those comments.
Thank you. So tonight, our calendar will take off the only action item, which was action 11A. If anybody was appearing to comment on that matter, it will be re-agendized at another meeting in the future. We next go to oral communications. Anyone wishing to address the board on matters not appearing on the agenda may do so at this time. Anybody wishing to speak that is appearing via Zoom, I see attendees. If you wish to address us, some of them have just departed. If you wish to address us, please unmute yourself. Now would be the time. Seeing no takers in the attendees via Zoom, anybody in the room wishing to address items not on the agenda? Patrick Breen has a smile on his face, but I don't think that's what he's talking about. Okay, so we will close oral communications on non-agendized matters, and we'll move now to item 5A, which is a presentation, and it's to adopt a resolution to recognize Belen Perez, our customer service billing technician 2, for 5 years of service for the Marina Coast Water District. And Darrell, you're taking this item. Thank you. And for the public, would you introduce yourself?
Yes. Good evening. I'm Darrell Parker, Customer Service Administrator here for Marina Coast Water District. Good evening, board, staff, public. I bring you greetings on behalf of the district, particularly customer service, the department that Belen belongs to. Certain things just come best as a pair. We'll be in Shack, Hall and Oates, Yin and Yang, peanut butter and jelly. And here at Marina Coast Water District, one of our best combinations is Kayla and Belen. Last board meeting, we had the pleasure of recognizing Kayla for her 5 years of service. And tonight we had the pleasure of recognizing her counterpart, Belen. Kayla, as we learned last month, is thoughtful, reserved, and quiet. And Belen, well, Belen is thoughtful, but she is not reserved. But Belen is our social butterfly that brings energy, enthusiasm, personality that can light up the office. She has a way of making people feel welcome as they walk through the door if they're a customer or if they're a coworker just needing a helping hand. Beyond her outgoing personality, Belen has been an invaluable member of the district team for over 5 years, having joining Marina Coast Water District in July of 2021. She has consistently demonstrated professionalism, dedication, and genuine commitment to both our customers and staff. In her role as billing tech, Customer Service Billing Technician 2, Belen has become a trusted resource throughout our department and organization. Her institutional knowledge helps serve and solve customer problems, answer questions, and keep operations running smoothly. She's played an important role in developing major initiatives such as the InfoSend platform, Walmart Bill Pay, and a payment arrangement feature. A quick story is while we were testing both the Walmart Bill Pay and the payment arrangement feature, our very own board clerk, Mrs. Paula, had to not pay her bill for a certain amount of months. I won't say how long, but while Belen was testing out those features, she would tell Paula, "Don't pay your bill. Don't pay your bill." And Paula would joke it would be a sad thing if we had to go before the board because we had to turn off our clerk for late payments. But nonetheless, things like that is what Belen brings most. In addition to that, she approaches her work with both competence and compassion. She understands that customer service isn't just about bills and accounts, it's about people. Her kindness, her patience, her willingness to help make a real difference in the experience of our customers stand out most. Belen, on behalf of our customer service team, thank you for your 5 years of dedicated service and the many other countless ways you've contributed here to the district's success. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, my fellow staff present, and members of the public joining us this evening, please join me in congratulating Belen Perez on this milestone and wishing her many more successful years here at the district. Congrats, Belen.
Okay, that was a good start, but I'm going to allow her colleagues also to come to the podium if anybody wishes to speak. Come on, folks. It could be 3 words. Thank you for your service.
Do it.
Kayla, you have something to say. We met you last meeting, but be nice.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay. My name is Kayla. I am Belen's colleague, her other half, as Drell would say. Congrats, Belen, for your 5 years. I just want to say I'm really proud of you. And like Darrell said, pretty much took all my words. You do make the office such a brighter, livelier environment. And yes, without you, it would be a lot more quieter, but that would also be so boring. And I'm just really happy you're here. And congrats.
Good evening, members of the board, public, staff. Just really briefly, I want to say thank you to Belen for her time here. You've been here longer than I have. But by way of introduction to customer service, Belen was one of the first that I met, first folks in customer service. And a lot of the work that we're doing right now is hoping and helping to evolve the district and some of our processes and so on. And one of the things that Belen has been so helpful with is taking on a problem and researching it and trying to find ways to solve it. Darrell mentioned the testing and so on, and she's been working with me on all sorts of testing in the system and so on. It's been really productive and fun, frankly. So thank you and congratulations.
Okay, Bram Schertzinger. Would you introduce yourself?
Sure. Bramley Scherzinger, General Manager, Marine Coast Water District. Belen, we've started essentially around the same time together. We started over the reservation office when it was a weird shell of cubicles and figured out the world from there. I think that from my perspective, your grasp of the district and how you've moved certain things forward and held customer service together is a great testament to your skill. But that camaraderie that you create is pretty fantastic. And clearly it resonates inside that unit. I'm still not sure about the pickle, but congratulations on 5 years. And truly, to echo others, I hope that there's 5 more and 5 more and 5 more. So congratulations.
Ms. Riso? Well, you could talk to both of them.
Okay.
Yay. This is a customer service person. Did you hear that?
Yes. So I'm Paula Riso. I'm the executive assistant, and I've been here for a little bit longer than 5 years. And I remember when both Kayla and Belen started, and I thought they were both such fresh faces, and they brought so much to the district. And I've really enjoyed having them part of my family, because this is my family. And I was busy last month getting Kayla's little plaque ready, and I missed out on the comments. So Kayla, thank you. Kayla came into my life before she came here. She was my dog walker, and I was like, this girl's perfect. I love her. And then Belen came in, and those two, peanut butter and jelly, they go to good together, and they're a lot of fun, and I really enjoy them. And Belen, we've had many talks. She's going to be here for a long time. They both are. I've talked them both into staying a long time. And now we have Alana, who's been here almost a year. So she's going to be here a while too. So good luck. Thank you for everything.
Okay, welcome to the board. We'll start. Director Imamura, I see your hand is up.
Thank you, President Martin. Yeah, so Glenn, for really for practical purposes, you are the Marina Coast Water District, because for the most part, most people the public, the ratepayers that call in, you're one, and Kayla and the other customer service staff are the ones that answer the phones, and you really are the front line. And I have a real appreciation of that, because if for some reason you have a bad day or something, which I know you probably don't, but you can see if that's their first encounter with the Marina Coast Water District, they're going to have a bad impression. So in other words, I'm saying you don't get a second chance to make a good first impression. So really appreciate what you do on the customer service team. And again, thank you for your 5 years. And again, hopefully you're going to be here for many, many, many years more. Thank you.
Director Moore.
Yes, Belinda. So one of the difficulties we have as directors in particular is to judge how well customer service is doing. We don't have any financial metrics. We don't have any water quality metrics that apply to you. But I must say, in the last 5 years, I don't ever recall hearing a negative thing specifically about you or your colleagues or customer service. I have seen a few complimentary things on Nextdoor. And I guess my conclusion is you're doing great if we hear nothing. So thank you for your service.
Vice President Schreiner.
I have a special appreciation for customer service, having had to make the move from what did you call them? The weird cubicles. Having to create the new payment systems and sort of reinvent some of the ways that we do business. So thank you for that. And thank you for, it sounds like bringing some humor to an office that's been under a lot of pressure. And I hope our executive assistant did actually finally pay a bill. She's working on it. Oh, you're still working out the bug. I appreciate that that idea that you have a guinea pig in the office who's willing to help out also any way she can. And I think that's what really makes such a strong team that we have here at the district, is that all of you seem like you're ready to help out when needed and experiment with new things. And thank you for that, Belen.
So congratulations on 5 years. I pick up on some of these key things, but one of the things that I value as a director and being elected to be part of this board and direct this organization is how invested all of your fellow employees are invested in each other. And the word came up camaraderie. And it seems like you are one of the key pegs in the development of the camaraderie that's within customer service. That is a special skill to develop that excitement, that investment, that teamwork. Kayla clearly possess those skills. And I'm hoping that MCWD fulfills your long-term goals of advancement. So you stay with us. I'm gonna apply that to Kayla too. So you can continue to go together. The other thing though is, as Director Moore said, as president, the last straw after it goes through customer service and then to management, then to REM, it goes to the board president. So I have sat in this chair for 2.5 years. And there are very few customer service complaints. I don't even think I've gotten one. There are other complaints that tended to, but it wasn't customer service. And being in a professional, I run an office, that professionalism, the ability to diffuse what can be angry calls, what can be complaints, what can just be despair from our clients. We all get, I'm assuming MCWD, I know we get those. But the ability to diffuse it, to have the customer know they've been heard and their situation is going to be addressed and they feel validated and that it gets solved. That's wonderful. And that skill starts with you and with the department. And thank you. Okay, so with that, I would entertain a resolution. Does somebody want to make a motion?
Move approval of resolution 2026-49.
So we have a first and a second to approve the resolution to recognize Belen Perez, our customer service billing technician 2, for 5 years of service to the Marina Coast Water District. We'll take a roll call vote. Director Moore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith is absent. Vice President Schreiner
Yes.
and President Morton.
Yes. So the resolution passes unanimously by the 4 directors that are here present to vote. And the resolution we are resolving by the Board of Directors of the Marina Coast Water District at our meeting held on August 17th of 2026 as follows.
Whereas Belen Perez has been an invaluable asset to the Marina Coast Water District for the past 5 years, having joined the district on July 19th, 2021. And whereas Belen has demonstrated exceptional dedication and skill in her role as customer service / billing technician 2. And
Whereas in her current role, Belen has been instrumental in overseeing the district's customer service, billing, and meter reading functions, and her kind-hearted nature and genuine care for the district has always been her greatest soft skills. And
Whereas Belen played a crucial role in the successful implementation of the new payment software InfoSend, which has streamlined payment collection operations and managed the implementation of new rates and structures for sewer and water, ensuring that changes were smoothly integrated into the existing system. And
Whereas Belen's extensive institutional knowledge comes in handy when troubleshooting customer or staff inquiries, ensuring that issues are resolved efficiently and effectively, and reflecting her commitment to both her role and the community she serves. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Marina Coast Water District does hereby recognize and honor Belen Perez for 5 years of dedicated service to the district. And Belen, we're going to present you with an award and a gift certificate, and most importantly, a wish for many more years with the district. Thank you.
You need one more signature.
Okay, well, I want to show it.
Okay.
Gift certificate. Thank you for your service. We are so happy you're with us. Thank you. Glad to be here. Good. Okay. Okay, would you like to invite your guests to take a picture? Yes. You can set that there. Look around. Oh my gosh. Come on, Mason. Oh, all of you need it. Oh, no one found it. Okay. Come on, Caitlin. We're gonna take her a little friend. Look at them, and then we're gonna family next. Family is the Lord. Oh, you don't. You're trying to look straight. All of you. One, two, three. All right. Okay, that's not you guys get your family and your partner. All right. And then we're gonna do one last one with all the board members there and Ren. You ready to get it out? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, board members and Ren. Is blue your favorite color? Dark blue. Oh. Sometimes light blue can be nice. We can have two dark. All right. Okay, we have refreshments. Anybody wish to take? We're going to take a short break. I'll give everybody 5 minutes to socialize, and then we're going to happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday, dear Maddie. Happy birthday to you.
I can't remember us doing that for any other person in the audience. Congratulations. Yeah, we're gonna take 5 minutes. 6:24, 6:30. addressing item 6A on our packet, which is a resolution to appoint the general manager as the Board of Directors real property negotiator. This item appears at page 5 of your packet, and it looks like our general manager is at the podium to inform us of what action is being requested.
Good evening, Madam President and members of the board, staff, and public. The item before you is the adoption of Resolution 2650, which appoints the general manager to act as the primary negotiator for the board of directors. This request, while broad in its nature, was intended for the closed session items this evening to give the general manager the authority to negotiate in those three identified transactions. This is a requirement of the Brown Act, that we identify who the principal negotiator is.
Okay, are there any questions? Well, I would like to make the motion because I would like to make the motion to move approval for our general manager to act as our real property negotiator for these three transactions that are identified in our agenda. I'm going to specify real property negotiator, negotiating parties are CMEX and MCWD. The second is Salinas Valley Health and MCWD. And the third is City of Marina and MCWD. So that's my motion, if I have a second. Okay. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, will anybody in the public wanting to comment? None, we'll take a vote. Thank you. Oh, I see.
There we go. Director Moore,
Yes.
Director Smith is absent, Director Imamura,
Yes.
Vice President Schreiner,
Yes,
President Morton.
Yes. So we now have appointed the general manager as our real property negotiator in those three transactions. Next is our public comment on closed session items. That is an invitation for the public to address us on any of our closed session items, which is real property negotiation as to negotiations between CMEX and MCWD as to price and terms. The second closed session item is a conference with real property negotiator regarding Salinas Valley Health and MCWD, again, price and terms. And thirdly, also real property negotiations, negotiating parties, City of Marina, MCWD, as to price and terms. Anybody wishing to comment on any of those three items? I'm looking to the Zoom attendees. Don't see anybody raising hands or unmuting. Anybody in the room? Seeing nobody showing any interest in public comments. We just have staff here at this time. So we will close public comment in our closed item sessions. We will be going into closed session. We expect to reconvene at 6:34. We expect to reconvene at 7:30. So there is a request for a 3-minute break. We'll all meet in there to start Meaning, after having conducted closed session, there is no reportable action.
Recording in progress.
There's no reportable action taken during our closed session. We next will move on to item 10, our consent calendar. There are multiple items, A through H. My understanding is that H will be handled separately. It's being pulled to be looked at and reviewed separately. So of the items, A, which is receive the check register, B, approve the draft minutes of the joint board GSA meeting of July 16th, C, approve the draft minutes of the regular joint board GSA meeting of July 20th, D, receive the second quarter investment report for the calendar year 2026, E, adopt a resolution, adopt the fiscal year 26-27 district investment policy. F, to amend the fiscal year 26-27 budget and approve the rollover of the fiscal year 2026 appropriation for the water meter and register purchase to the year 2027. And G, adopt a resolution to amend the fiscal year 26-27 operating budget and roll over $101,900 in unspent fiscal year 25-26 cybersecurity program funds. So right now we're looking at A through G. Do any board members wish to pull any of those items? Director Imamura, F and G. Does the public wish to address any items on our consent agenda before we entertain a motion? So I would entertain a motion if a director wishes to do so for moving approval of A, B, C, D, and E.
So moved.
So I have a motion by Director Moore to approve consent calendar A, B, C, D, E. I'll second. Oh, Director Imamura has seconded that motion. Any questions or comments by directors? Oh, we will take a roll call vote.
Director Smith is absent. Director Imamura,
Yes.
Director Moore,
Yes.
Vice President Schreiner,
Yes,
and President Martin.
Yes. So the items in our consent agenda A through E have been approved unanimously by those of us present. Are you up at the dais for H, or are you going to address F and G?
I'll take all comers.
Okay, so let's start with one at a time, and to clarity of the record, we're going to start with item 10F, which is to amend the fiscal budget 26-27 budget and approve the rollover of the fiscal year 2026 appropriation for water meter and register purchase to fiscal year 2027. It appears at page 40 of our packets, and Rem Schertzinger is going to lead us through this discussion.
Oh.
Do you want to ask questions, or
Yes.
you want him?
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
You want to,
No,
I just had a specific,
That's
okay.
your question and off we go.
So, this is just to, I guess, to replace or add existing water meters that are the ones that we have currently, right?
Yes,
This isn't the ones I guess the discussion was about the smart meters,
correct,
and that's a separate thing.
correct.
And when do you envision
So
that to start rolling out?
So at some level that is happening, but this is our replacement meter package. So annually we buy meters that we replace in the system.
Right.
These meters were essentially purchased, but not acquired. So invoicing and that hasn't occurred. So we just need to move the money that was allocated in the 26 budget into the 27 budget. The money exists. There was just a backlog on the meters.
Okay, yeah, I guess, so, the reason why I pulled this and wanted to ask was just to inquire about the future.
The future
So-
is smart meters, and we're picking those zones now to put those meters in. And so we're looking for grant funding to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I move approval.
Second.
So we have a motion for approval of 10F and by Director Imamura with a second by Director Moore. Any discussion? Anybody wishing to comment? None. We'll take a roll call vote.
Director Imamura,
Yes.
Director Moore,
Yes.
Director Smith is absent, Vice President Scheiner,
Yes.
and President Morton.
Yes. So the next item is item 10G, again pulled by Director Imamura. Would you like to ask your questions?
Yeah, I had a question. So, trying to remember here. So last month we had cybersecurity training.
Correct.
And was this a part of this? I mean,
It was, yes.
okay. I had a question about that. And so was this, when you pick the trainer, I guess, was this a bidding process or you just go out and pick?
The trainer, it was my understanding that the trainer was picked for us by the granting agency. So this is all grant funded. So
Oh, okay, right. So it was, in other words, it was like,
we got what we
this
got.
is who you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Well, and this is just me. I just felt that it just wasn't that good. I didn't think. I didn't get that much out of it because it looked like he was just reading a script the whole time. I mean, unless I'm wrong in my perception, but I just didn't get a lot out of it, really.
Did we, we had reviews, right? We did
Yes,
send out review pages.
I emailed everybody a link to do a review. They
Yeah.
asked everybody, so they asked if the board reviewed it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
just
know if
giving you my
guys did or
review.
not, but I can resend it if you need.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you my review now. I didn't think it was that, but if it was part of the grant and this is like, we don't have a choice.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, okay.
So
thank
we're going to stay on the agenda, which is not the discussion about the quality of the training, but I do respect your comment. So with
Move approval.
regard, move approval of item 10G, which is to amend the fiscal year 26-27 operating budget and roll over $101,900 in unspent fiscal year 25-26 cybersecurity program
Second,
funds into 2026-27. The
Sorry.
motion is made by Director Imamura, second by Director Moore. Any comments? Don't see anybody seeking to speak on Zoom or in the room. We will take a roll call vote.
Director Moore,
Yes.
Director Smith is absent, Director Imamura,
Yes.
Vice President Schreiner,
Yes.
President Morton.
Yes. So that passes unanimously. Next, we move to the pulled item, which was item H, which is to award a professional services agreement to Client First Technology Consulting for enterprise resource planning, evaluation, selection, and procurement consulting services. This appears at page 52 of our board packet. General Manager Schertzinger, is there something on the dais we are to?
yes,
refer
there's
to?
a sheet. So, Madam President, members of the board, staff, and the public, the item before you this evening is the preliminary to our development or the changing of our enterprise resource program, which is our finance core software. The first thing we have to do is get somebody to come in, help us identify the areas that need to be in our RFP, our request for proposals, so that we can then shop for the ERP. So that's what this is. In conversations this afternoon with Director Schreiner, she identified that it was not clear whether or not we were a Section A contract, which is a lump sum contract, or a Section B contract, which is a time and materials contract. And I said, oh, it's right here in Appendix A and on the scope of work, and then went there and found that it wasn't there. So the sheet on the dais is merely a correction to sheet 69 in your package, which will have in the contract that will be signed, we'll have at the top the pursuant to Section 7B. This is a time and materials reimbursable contract with a not to exceed amount of $140,000.
So that one, I'm going to ask a question. So that 100, this time and materials is for the additional work.
For the preliminary work, correct? Yes.
Okay.
I'll move approval of resolution 2026-54.
Second,
Okay, anybody wishing to be heard on the motion? Don't see any hands, no public asking to speak. We're ready for a vote.
Dr. Imamura,
Yes.
Director Moore,
Yes.
Dr. Smith is absent, Vice President Schreiner,
yes.
President Morton.
Yes, so that is, that item passes unanimously,
Thank you.
again, by those of us present with the replacement of the scope of work. That concludes our consent calendar. We have no action items, which now takes us to item 12 of our agenda, informational items. And we will start with our general manager's report.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board and staff and public. Just a few items this evening. There have been some questions about Cal Avenue. We're off the road. The city has approved everything. We have some work on the side. We still have some valves that need to be put in, but for the most part, the project will be complete in the next 3 weeks. So looking forward to getting out of everybody's way and letting people have California Road back. As you can see, I think even now, they were out there just a few minutes ago. We're in the final testing phases of the battery. So actually tomorrow night, we're going to be turning them off, turning them on, turning them off, turning them on, getting them ready for final inspection. So what's happening now is, as we're bringing them online, ELM, the manufacturer, will come out, do their final testing and clear the units. The building is actually running on solar during the day, which is kind of cool. That'll start our 30-day shakedown. And at the end of that, then we'll have a party. So very excited about that. And then the other one on the dais, you will see a letter from S&P Global. I am very pleased to report that we have been upgraded from AA- to AA. So we're on our way to AA+ and greater things to come. So
To your department.
thank you to finance and to Mary and her team for
Mary,
fantastic work. This is a super big deal. Thank you.
Can I just ask one more question? Is the rating stop at AA or does it go to A+, A+?
We're looking for a AAA. That's what I want.
AAA. Okay, Mary will have a higher task. I know her goal. So that's what I was concerned. Okay, well, congratulations. That's all you have to report on? Well, I thought you were going to report on Salinas Valley Groundwater Basin, GSA, and the suite of the status. Would you?
Sure.
Hear that.
So we recently met. So as you know, I'm a member of the Salinas Valley Basin GSA Steering Committee, which is tasked with coming up with the project to solve the 18400 overdraft / water quality / seawater intrusion / storage problem. We met as a group and no single project was selected. So the committee, which did not vote, kind of selected 3A, which is the brackish groundwater project, small, and 4, which was an indiscriminate, non-solving group of small projects. That was then given to staff. They rewrote it and recommended to Salinas Valley Basin a 3A, kinda, but not really. Sorry. I will.
I really am trying to understand
so
where we are.
So are we.
Good evening, President Moore, members of the board, staff, and the public. The Salinas Valley Board at their Thursday meeting approved Portfolio 3A, which had the small BGR. It had a 10% demand reduction. It had what they call east side. There's some east side percolation ponds that are associated with it. And that was a suite of projects that to meet DWR's Department of Water Resources, request that they make a decision and actually commit to moving forward with the suite of projects that's going to solve not only the seawater intrusion, but all the other associated project or problems that are in the 184. So they approved suite or the Portfolio 3A.
And what's the cost of that portfolio?
The 1.6 something billion.
The numbers range from 1 billion to 1.5 billion, depending on the estimate and how they're estimating the projects. The portfolio was passed with the caveat qualifier, understanding that the projects will continue to evolve, may not necessarily end up as this particular suite of projects at the end. Staff had indicated that they're trying to leave space for other projects to be brought forward. There's different groups over in the valley, agriculture groups, the Salinas Basin Alliance, and then also the coalition that are proposing different alternative projects. And so this was really to give some assurances to DWR that they're actually moving forward with something. That was really the onus of this portfolio and their selection of it.
So when do they break ground? Isn't that what's moving forward?
Breaking ground would require at least a minimum of 2 to 3 years of planning to get to a 218 vote for the public to approve such a large infrastructure project via a bond or other financing mechanism. And that's even an assumption saying it would be a 218. There's a significant amount of work that's going to need to occur. If you can think about even just $1 billion project, you're going to have roughly 20%, 25% soft costs. So you're talking they're going to have to come up with $200 million just to get to a point of passing a 218. So they're going to need a lot of help. There's a lot of work that needs to occur.
I'm baffled. Can you tell me where 200 million is going to come from?
Yes, I
You
did that.
can't. You could just tell me, no, I can't, Gail. That's fine. I'm happy with that answer if that's the answer.
It would be
I just wanna know if
speculation at this point.
I just want to know if that was considered and voted on with this suite of projects. That's what I'm trying to understand.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Patrick. Anything else you want to say?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Vice President Schreiner, would you like to tell us what the executive committee did?
I recall going over tonight's agenda, and I don't recall us having other agenda items that night.
We didn't. We resigned in 24 minutes. We were done.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Community Outreach Committee. Director Imamura and Director Moore, you were as the alternate also there?
Yeah.
So we'll start with Director Imamura.
Yeah, thank you, President Moore. I want to thank, first of all, Board Member Moore, excuse me, President Morton and Board Member Moore for filling in for Board Member Smith on our committee. So I just want to, maybe you can give some quick comments about the meeting and your.
Sure. I mean, quite frequently much of outreach is time and consideration is spent learning what our outreach and public relations firm has done. And they are doing a lot for us. They have gotten us into a variety of social media. They track the metrics that social media is producing. They've gotten into Instagram and Facebook and Nextdoor. And I'm not a social media person by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't even know some of these sites that, but they seem to be getting traction with our ratepayers in a variety of ways. So I think that's very good. We also had a little debate about whether to bring forth and discuss in public some items, how to characterize these strategic communications of some sort. So that may be coming before a future outreach committee meeting. But that's my recollection.
Thank you. Thank you. And maybe Rem, you can give a quick summary. Also in our committee, we also go over the staffing. And so can you kind of give us an update on how we're doing on those? We have 2 key staff positions, and I think you were having some interviews too that were happening.
Yes, so I'm happy to report that we have two candidates moving forward on our district engineer. We're over 50 deep in terms of our O&M manager recruitment. So that's pretty good. And then our op 1-2s are out in the open and are getting traction. So that's also very good. So, and it's my understanding that our cross connection control specialist that took us a while to hire, Joe, is doing very well. And so we're very happy to have him. So things are moving along. It's good.
So I think bottom line is we're fastly approaching getting up to full strength. So thank you.
Great. M1 Water Board Liaison member is Director Moore.
Thank you very much. So upcoming meetings, this Friday is the Recycled Water Committee meeting. I've had a look at the preliminary agenda, which will be published tomorrow. Nothing particularly controversial, quite a few items, been having to buy chemicals. This is sort of the time of year when we make big buy of chemicals, and between Pure Water Monterey and ordinary wastewater treatment processes, we go through a lot of tonnage of a variety of dangerous and semi-exotic chemicals to run these treatment processes. The next board meeting is 2 weeks from today, 31st of August. The only thing of significance occurred on the 27th of July. One of the furthest pump stations, lift stations, if you will, that feeds the force main that runs from Pacific Grove all the way up past Marina to the treatment facility north of Marina, is the Coral Street pump station in Pacific Grove. Unfortunately, it was built with part of that vault actually below sea level. The good news is the pumps themselves can be immersed in seawater or fresh water and operate just fine. They are supposedly completely waterproof, but there is a dry vault where the electrical switchgear exists that turns those pumps on and off and controls them. We've had a couple of king tides with storms, and the water has come within less than a foot of the top of that dry well. That's bad news with sea level rise, etc. So Monterey One Water's been working for about 3 years on a project to move the electrical controls inland, 400 or 500 yards inland, because all you need to do is run the power lines and conduit through the streets down to this submersible part of the pump station. They've gone through 2 different locations in Pacific Grove, and the first location generated a great deal of public opposition. We don't want that electrical switchgear in our neighborhood. So they redesigned it, moved it up towards a piece of the Pacific Grove Golf Course. And no surprise, a lot of neighbors of that location came out and said, we don't want this in our neighborhood, with a number of objections. So over the last 2 or 3 months, the designers have tried to mitigate some of these objections. So right now the proposal is to essentially put a basement into the ground with a top on it that might stick up a foot above normal ground level, and put all the electrical switch gear into this basement, which should deal with noise issues and visual issues and so forth. Still, there were probably a dozen folks who came to the meeting on the 27th complaining even about that submerged basement style facility. So news at 11 to see where this will go, but it's an important thing that has to happen. And to their credit, even the citizens, most of the citizens who objected said, yeah, we acknowledge that this has got to be moved. Because if you ruin that pump station, it turns out the area it serves covers about 1/3 to 40% of the city of Pacific Grove. And it's a little hard to say to 1/3 or 40% of the city of Pacific Grove, hey, we've just lost our pump station. The electrical gear is all burnt up. We've ordered new electrical gear. It'll be in 9 months. In the meantime, please don't put any water down any of your drains under any circumstance. Don't flush the toilet. Don't wash a dish. Don't wash a single dish. Don't take a shower. But we'll have you back up and running in 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
So trying to avoid issues like that. I'm exaggerating a bit. I'm sure we would find some kind of emergency bypass to deal with that, but it would be expensive and have its own problems. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Special Districts Association meeting. Anybody? I think we were introduced, we all went to the special districts meeting, and we were introduced to LAFCO's new executive director.
Right, Kate McKenna.
Kate McKenna has retired.
Kate McKenna retired, and I was very fortunate to sit next to somebody from, a new person from the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District, Mary Ann Wayne, I think is her name, and she's like master's in public policy from somewhere nice like Harvard. But it was an interesting dinner, in part because of the new LAFCO representative seemed very approachable and very friendly, as well as nice people at the table.
And in addition, we had, although in the past we have had the president of the board of California Special Districts Association come to our meetings. That's because Vince Ferrante was that person and is a member of the board of directors of Moss Landing Harbor District. So he routinely comes to these quarterly meetings anyway. So having the president of the board in the past hasn't been so unusual, but there's a new president of the board. He came and spoke. Seems like a sharp young man. So hopefully we'll get some more support out of California Special Districts Association.
Thank you. We'll next go to board member requests for future agenda items. Nothing from Director Moore, Director Imamura, Vice President Schreiner.
I'm just trying to keep on the radar the cybersecurity policies.
Yep.
That we just learned about, and I hope in September, October we'll be seeing.
Excellent. And the district staff will be providing a kind of an outlook. We're not politicking, but an outlook on what the city's UUT would do or affect, or how those effects would work against our ratepayers. So that presentation will be at September meeting.
That's great. Okay, no further requests for future agenda items. We'll now go to director's comments. Director Imamura.
Yes, thank you. For another year, I was able to attend the Marina Night Out, which was very well attended, and it was actually right before our outreach committee meeting. So I think I was a couple minutes late, but I was there, and it was really good to see the number of people that actually came out, the Marina residents, and of course, Marina Coast Water District had their booth there, and there were a lot of people that were really interested in what the situation was with our water, and of course the new development. People seem to always be concerned, are we going to have enough water? You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I wasn't able to get to the other one. Where was the other booth? There was two booths that evening.
There was one here and then the one over at CSUMB.
CSUMB, yeah. I was going to try and get over there, but I had to come to the
Had to come to a
outreach.
meeting?
Had to come to the outreach committee meeting, but I'm sure that went well too. So it's great to get out when we can, and so hopefully, were we planning? I know it's out of the area, but the Monterey County Fair is that something that we generally would do, or okay, that's great. Okay.
We also did the Compass Church.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me.
Touch the
We had
trucks.
the truck, and that was great. And I sent you a photo on that. So that was also very good for us to get out to show people, you know, and see the people behind the scenes, so to speak. So that was really good. And thanks again for the staff and you know, allowing the truck to get out there too. Thank you.
Director Moore.
Just want to say thanks to our general manager for getting back to me mid-afternoon this afternoon. I can't always get to my board packet and come up with my questions in a timely manner early on a Monday or even on a Friday. So I try to send to him the questions that, particularly from things like consent, that are of interest to me, but perhaps I think would be kind of boring for my fellow directors. So I try and get those answered before the meeting. So thank you for getting back to me on that. Appreciate it.
I'm not sure I should be insulted that I'm bored by the work of the district.
Well, no, it's not the word of district. It's bored of some of my questions.
Vice President Schreiner.
Yeah, thank you. I do a similar thing, and I caught our general manager very early this morning. So yeah, I appreciate your accessibility. Thank you for being there for us. And there were a lot of questions that were unclear, and as the meeting progressed, became clear. And one of the items had to be pulled for further clarification, and I appreciate that. That'll be time well spent, I'm sure, as those parcels get fully clarified to all expectations. And I want to say congratulations to Belen Perez again and the crew that support her. It's so good to see the community backing that some of the staff have as they sort of mature with the district. I suppose 5 years is a good stretch, especially after going through the move and the changes that we have. I want to celebrate the credit rating improvement. So I know it doesn't seem like a huge amount from AA minus to AA, but
Oh, it is.
the trend that's important to me, and it's been a good trend for the past few years. So I'm very happy about that. And yeah, I too went to the National Night Out, but I had the meeting first and then ran over to the National Night Out. And it's always a fun event for families, and I appreciate the district participating in that. Thank you.
So my comment, at our last board meeting, we actually had to extend the meeting beyond 10 o'clock. And it was the last board meeting that Derek Cray was presenting as our operations and maintenance manager. He has been, just in my opinion, an excellent employee for the district. He has demonstrated leadership, competence. He stepped up to be the interim general manager between Keith's last name, Vandermont and Rem Schertzinger. I don't know how I lost Keith's name, which is not easy to do. And he did that. That's when I came on in February of 2021. So it was a few months. He trained me to come on as a board member. Always gracious, always well-informed, always being able to answer questions at the dais. And that effort is greatly appreciated when you're making decisions in the role that we have. But also, I have such respect and gratitude for him, because what we talked about earlier in the customer service, for example, tonight, this was the example of this camaraderie. That, to me, where I first saw that and saw it demonstrated time after time in the last 4 years that I have been here, is with operations and maintenance. And I know that that is to be credited to its leader, which was Derek Cray, through all those years. His enthusiasm for his work carried over into the employees and how they supported each other. To me, that was just a tremendous success, and an added benefit that his work for our district competently did operations and management. But adding that level of interest in the job by his employees, the collective movement of the group towards the goals in a common way, was just outstanding. And because we didn't have a time last week to say goodbye, I am taking my comments now to say thank you, Derek, and we'll miss you. So with that, we're adjourned.